How's it going, and welcome back to yet another episode of Follow to Tale of Two Wastelands. In the last episode, we managed to help out Camp Gulf, and we managed to make our way around the camp and make them a little bit more ready in the event of another attack, all the while by not giving them drugs and not teaching them kindness, and also not cheating. You're
We won't go quietly.
dished out like hell. I'm gonna leave you be. How do I actually get into this building? Is there an easy way around here? And Sierra Ranger looks good to go. And then this looks like the entrance. Okay, we got a lot of unnamed people. Let's go ahead on into the house. Alrighty. Well, we're in the house, and I don't actually know what to expect. I'm not seeing anybody. It's not to say there isn't anybody. We can also definitely hack in. This might actually be how I was supposed to cheat on the test. But I'm not seeing anybody. Well, except for you. Do you have a name? Are you a name or an unknown? Nope, definitely don't have a name. Who around here has a name and has some significance? Unnamed. Can I sleep in any of your beds? Well, I can. And all my drugs are wearing off.
Go quietly. The Legion can count on that.
Is that right? Are you all unnamed? You are all unnamed rangers. Wow, you have a lot of food. And a lot of Nuka-Cola quartz. I don't even know what Nuka-Cola quartz are. I've seen a lot of Nuka-Cola in my day, never quite the quartz. Unless I have and I'm misremembering, but we're going to pretend I'm not, because God knows I have no idea. Alright, so we're good there. Where is everybody in this building? I mean, I can hack things. But is any of that... Yeah, I can steal... I mean, well, I was going to steal that. I don't even think it's worth it to steal that. It was a single stim pack. Anybody here? Ooh, Chief Hamlin, you have a name.
Back west, you don't see too many of these. Lakes, I mean. Natural or man-made. Any kind, really. We neglected the dams or pumped all the water out a long time ago. Owens, Isabella, the San Luis. Drained the aquifers of everything they had. Just a lot of mud and dust now. It's a different feeling watching the sun come up over the water. Takes some getting used to. But if you're here long enough, it starts to seem normal. That's what a ranger's life is now, looking east. You must be the courier folks have been talking about. Word on the radio is that someone wronged you back in Good Springs. The Mojave has a way of burning decent people up. But it sounds like you've done right by the NCR. It's appreciated. Now what can I do for you?
It's funny that you know so much about me because I've never seen your name before. And I'm not going to be an ass, so what I'm going to ask is if you could just tell me about yourself. Maybe we'll get off on the right foot, pull up a whiskey, whatever you're in the mood for.
Folks around here call me the Chief, but handling's just fine. The Rangers run themselves pretty well, but I try to lend a hand. Mostly administrative work, helping coordinate intel on the radio. That and keeping an eye on the fires growing across the water.
Alright, how do you coordinate that intel?
It's a simple system when it works. Patrol Rangers radio intel to ranger stations. Comm Rangers send the intel up the station chain until it reaches Camp Gulf. Then I or one of the other Rangers on duty organize the data, evaluate it, and send information to camps or troopers in the field.
Makes sense. Why don't you send the intel... Why don't the ranger stations send the intel directly to the troopers?
Comm Rangers might have an incomplete picture of the situation. There's a lot going on out there. Intel needs to be coordinated through Gulf so we can verify and advise appropriately. Troopers have enough to deal with. We don't want them questioning their intel.
Alright, that makes sense. What did you... I guess I can't ask you about the fires. Tell me about the Rangers.
I could tell you a lot if you had the time. But at my age, I'm not sure which of us would get tired first. What do you want to know?
Honestly, do you have any good stories? You know what? I'm down for story time. Screw it.
Suppose it depends on what you think's good. Most folks want to hear about Hoover Dam and Boulder City, but it's a long story. If you want some tall tales about hunting down slavers or busting up gangs, talk to one of the younger rangers.
Alright, but realistically, between you and I, there must be something good the Rangers have done that you're proud of.
It's kind of a long one, but all right. About 25 years ago, a group of NCR settlers pushed way south into Baja. I guess it doesn't seem so far now if you look at a map, but back then they were out of ways. They built this little shanty town around a well in the middle of nowhere. Called it Rattletail.
Alright.
Word got back to one of our stations that raiders had been attacking the place. I went out with 6 rangers. We must have been on the trail for a week before we got to Rattletail. We lost one woman to night stalkers and another almost died of dehydration. When we reached the place, it's 6 shacks set up around an old well.
That sounds like a perfect place for a hunting, but go on.
There's over 24 bodies lying in the dunes way outside of town, and 5 men with 308 rifles crouched behind sandbags. And these bodies, these people out in the sand, they aren't raiders, aren't even heavily armed. They're just people who were trying to get to the only well in 50 miles. I didn't have to talk to the men to see that they did not care one bit.
That makes perfect sense. I mean, they're obviously thirsty and need to survive.
They had planted an NCR flag over the well. They would not budge until every last one of them was laid out dead and cold. So I walked up and told them there was a group of raiders coming, 100 strong. I made up some cockamamie name for them and everything. The men looked at each other, looked at us, and asked me what we were going to do about it.
I'm assuming you said nothing.
I told them we would take them back into NCR territory because we'd already lost 10 rangers on the way out. 10 rangers, 5 men with 308 rifles. Well, that was enough for them. They packed up what they could and we took them back north. Last I heard, they settled somewhere in Anza Borrego. Raised bighorners. Had some tough times, but it worked out okay for them. So there you go. That's my one bit of good.
You know what? I like it. Alright, we're gonna go because... Well, I'm mostly curious if there's anybody else in here with a name, but I don't think I've ever been here. Wait, is there a thing I'm missing? This seems like the perfect place somebody would hide a gnome or something.
Evening.
I don't see anything, though. Could be in their safe, but I'm not gonna bother breaking into a safe, especially because the man is literally sitting right there. So okay, I'm not gonna steal from him. They potentially a bunch of cigarettes, bunch of medicine lying around. Is there actually anything of substance in this place? I don't know what I expected. I expected to find something. I just wasn't really sure what. Oh hey, Mr. House. I think that's Mr. House. Is there... What a weird little area. I honestly thought that there was going to be something of substance and not, you know, just story time. But I'm definitely not seeing anything else. There's a... Yeah, no, we've been through here. How strange. Well, I guess we can just walk out the front door. We're going to wait until daytime. I can travel at night, but it's a little harder on the encoder. It doesn't... Jesus, that's bright. He doesn't particularly enjoy the nighttime and the darkness. I've definitely learned that. Also, the water doesn't like being looked at, so everything kind of struggles a little bit. In today's episode, I guess what we're going to do after story time, keep making our way up towards this general area, I guess, because Benny is, yeah, right around up here. Right around up there somewhere. So what I'm going to do is going to just get right back on the road. I could probably hook into it from here, make my way up over there, see if anything catches my eye, see if anything's too interesting, and I figure we'll make it work if I don't get too lost along the way. To be honest, though, I'm probably going to get lost. There's a lot of things in the Mojave, and there's a lot of things that want you dead in the Mojave, which, unfortunately, is a large list of things. Alright, so free side. Yeah, I mentioned in the last episode, I wanted to try to stay on the trails a little bit, and then immediately did not follow my advice. But it just looks like it wraps around a little bit, and I mean, wrapping around will work, but it's gonna get me to my destination a whole hell of a lot slower. As if I could just get over there right now, cross the waste, I'm probably gonna run into a couple of mole rats or something. Oh, please tell me you are not hostile. I don't know if they're hostile. I don't think they are. Their health bars showed up the way they did, but I think it was just to symbolize health and not inherently, hey, they're animals that want to kill you. So let's leave them alone, because I don't see any point in slaughtering all the wildlife. Realistically, at the end of the day, somebody has to live here. It's going to make it a whole hell of a lot harder if you can't eat. There's bloat flies there, but again, don't need to worry a whole hell of a lot about them. And then, well, there's a caravan up here. Is this where the caravan is? Caravan is following this road. Let's go ahead and follow this road. I've actually been meaning to make my way to the caravan. I think Buddy there has some caps for me for saving his ass with Benny many, many, many moons ago. But I'm not entirely sure if you'll have them or what the deal is. But I think you're just up here, aren't you? I don't remember the name of the place. Crimson Caravan. I think that's the name of it. Perhaps it is the Crimson Caravan. And this does not look like the way to see the Crimson Caravan. Actually, I think they're in there. So never mind. This is actually just the way right into New Vegas. Well, eventually, anyway. It's somewhere beyond yonder. Okay, let's pretend that this is where the Crimson Caravan is. It seems to be up a little bit further. Can I get into this building? Can I get into any of these buildings? They all look boarded up, which doesn't help my exploratory bone, because my exploratory bone just wants to explore. But yeah, a lot of these houses just kind of seem desolate and boarded up. You know the drill. I also think I need a lot of caps to get into New Vegas. I don't remember exactly how many, but maybe let's not worry about that just yet. Alright, Crimson Caravan is just up here. Cool. It wasn't the camp back there like I thought it was, but that doesn't inherently mean that we have a problem. So, oh lord, all the little lag spikes whenever I enter a new area. I don't know how noticeable they are on the camera. Are they over here? Apparently they are. I don't think I've ever seen this bridge, to be honest with you. I mean, clearly I must have seen this bridge, but I don't know when. Well, that's alright. Crimson Caravan should be up here somewhere. I keep saying that. If I keep saying it, I'm gonna get there eventually. I think that's how this all works, right? Alright. Little town seems a little familiar. Survey says, oh, it's this little gated community. Is that? I thought it was a little building like that. But it's actually this whole thing, isn't it? Hello, guard.
Keep an eye out for wildlife.
Yeah, I always do. Let's go ahead to the Crimson Caravan.
Hey there. Here's the rest of the payment I promised you back in Good Springs.
I was attempting to take a drink. 150 bottle caps. You know what? It's not that great, but considering some of your Crimson Caravanners are literally staring at electrical boxes, I should probably be happy I'm getting 150 and not nothing. Ringo, it's good to see you again, buddy. Who's in charge?
Alice McLafferty runs the Crimson Caravan. You can find her over in the main office.
I may have to do that. What are the rules?
It's a two-player
it's a game,
and the winner
right.
takes the whole pot. You build a caravan using the cards in your deck. The goal is to create caravan bids that beat your opponent's bids, so there's more strategy than luck involved. It's why you won't see caravan in any casino. Too slow-paced. And more importantly, no house edge. Here, take this holotape. It goes into more specifics about the rules. You'll also need a deck, so take one of my spares. So, you feel like playing a game?
Not right this second,
All right.
but maybe eventually. So what do you plan on doing next, Ringo?
I'm getting ready to run a caravan up towards Utah. There's a town called New Canaan which is supposed to be pretty prosperous. The Crimson Caravan doesn't have any branches out that way, so it'll be up to me to get things started.
That doesn't sound too bad, though. Alright, I'm gonna leave and wander around and look for I think you said her name was McLafferty?
Morning.
Or something to that regard. He said it was up in the main house. Who are you?
If you're looking to buy or sell, you've come to the right man. The Crimson Caravan Company has the widest selection in the Wastelands.
You know what? Sure, show me what you have for sale.
Can do.
Alright, what do we... Ooh, we do have a lot of ammo. You my man, you're holding up. First thing we're gonna do, I think these NCR dollars can be used somewhere, I just don't know where. But I do have a bunch of junk, I think. Miscellaneous, let's have a little look. Carton of cigarettes I definitely don't need. I'm keeping that dink of the T-Rex souvenir. That thing is dying with me. Outside of that, we got some pre-war money. And I think that that's actually everything. But you have a whole hell of a lot of things. There's a lot of 10mm rounds, which would be good. What does my pistol use? If I look, not my pistol, my hunting rifle. It uses 308. So I could take some 308 ammo. I don't need the single shotgun. I already have a good enough shotgun. But shotgun rounds will also be good, because I think I was also running out of those. Okay, Raider armor's not actually good enough. Aid, I should be fine. Miscellaneous, I don't care about, but ammo is where the fun is at. So, 308 rounds, I can go ahead and take some of those, and then my terrible shotgun requires 20 gauge, which you don't have unless I scroll down. 20 gauge rounds? Perfect. And I guess I could also look into some energy cells. I'm at 354 caps. What if I didn't want to pay that many caps? Would you be interested in taking... You know what, I actually don't think I want to get rid of anything here. A single frag grenade, and then I'll pay the difference. Alright, well at least you have ammo.
Maybe. What do you want to know?
Well, I'm wondering, where do you get your merchandise?
Trade routes, my friend. Trade routes. Just about every major town in the Wasteland has a Crimson Caravan branch in it.
And does your caravan ever have trouble from bandits?
Out here, we usually split our caravans into smaller bands. That way, we don't lose everything if they get hit. It's not very efficient, though. But hopefully, we'll be able to start running larger caravans once things get civilized.
Makes perfect sense. Where are you from anyway, Blake?
A little place in the NCR called Oak Creek. Used to be a farming town until it got taken over by ranchers. I didn't want to herd Brahmin for a living, so I signed on with the Crimson Caravan and headed east. Not much to tell, really.
Everyone here has such like a nice, what's the word? Like a moral background. I enjoy it. It's good. All right, I'm gonna actually bail because I do need to find the person that's in charge, and I don't know why I need to do that. But I'm hoping that she gives me a little bit of direction and might be able to help me get into the strip. Main building might be here. I didn't actually see the door. Main office. Wonderful. Alright. Are you the one that's in charge? Nope, you're a caravaner. And you are a guard, and you are definitely not the person I'm looking for, but hold on. Give me a minute. Are you who I need? Yes, you are.
Welcome to the Crimson Caravan Company New Vegas branch. What may I do for you?
Well, you see, I'm actually looking for work.
I'm afraid we have no current openings for caravanners or guards, but I am in need of a runner.
I will take it.
Deliver this invoice to Dr. Hildern. You can find him somewhere inside Camp Mccarran.
Why do I know the name Camp Mccarran? Have we been to Camp Mccarran? I'm gonna leave now. And in the meantime, I'm gonna talk to you.
Hello there. Welcome to the Crimson Caravan Company. How can I help you today?
Well, I'm wondering who you are.
The name's Hostetler, Don Hostetler. Can I help you with something?
When you said your name, you started off kind of loud, and then you kind of you're like, Hostetler. Right, is there any work?
You know, hiring isn't really my department.
Okay. Alright, I'm going to leave you be. You don't appear to be Super interesting. Okay, so Camp Mccarran. Why does that name sound so familiar? Huh, it's all the way down there. I'm gonna be honest, I thought we had already been there, but apparently we haven't been. Well, I guess let me run into this building real quick, and then I guess we'll make our way over to the camp. You are a no-name. Okay, nothing actually is in here of importance without me looting from the Crimson Caravan and then probably shooting me in the face. So let's not worry too much about it. Alright, so Camp Mccarran is over yonder. There's a manhole. Oh, it's inaccessible. I wondered, I thought it said I could get in there and I was very confused. Alright, Camp Mccarran is somewhere over in this general direction. I don't know if it's inside of the strip or if it's on the outside. But clearly it's somewhere that I should have been to before I went all the way over there, because now there's a little bit of backtracking going on. Oh, hey, who are you? You just look like you're a random person. Oh, you're not. You're named.
I don't handle buying and selling for the gun runners. Talk to the robot in the kiosk near our factory.
Okay, real quick. Could I get a tour of the factory?
None whatsoever. Everything inside the fence is off limits, and the guards have strict orders to shoot to kill. A lot of our high-end weaponry comes from pre-war military schematics. If our competition got a hold of them, it'd be bad for business.
I mean, that does make sense. Okay. Who are the gun runners anyway?
Makers of the finest high-grade weapons and ammunition in the Wasteland. If you ever get your hands on a piece of sweet, deadly hardware, there's a good chance that it came from one of our factories.
Okay, fair enough. Mr. Robot Friend.
Welcome, sir or madam. Do you wish to purchase something?
Yeah, I figure why not. Show me what you have for sale.
I am...
Okay, so this could actually clear up the issue that I was having with my ammo. Although you have a whole hell of a lot of things, don't you? Yeah, wow, there's definitely a lot more stuff. Critical kill equals boom. What the hell is a two-step goodbye? I wonder if that's like a landmine? Strange, I'm not actually sure. Okay, so he actually does have a whole lot of stuff. Armored Duster. 1 charisma and 5 guns. And there's some combat armor and some reinforced combat armor. Yeah, nothing I have is quite worth what you have. And then, of course, your... Ooh, 357 revolver HD cylinder improves your condition. Euro battle rifle night scope. The Fat Man Little Boy kit. There's a lot of stuff here. Alright, I realize I'm actually broke as hell, so why don't I just buy some ammo? I'll buy some 5.56 rounds from you, and then some 20 gauge, and I'll call that a day. I'll go back here eventually, but I don't think I have to worry about it too much. Camp Mccarran, here I come. Is this the camp? How close am I? Oh, this isn't actually the camp. I think it's actually on the other side of this area. Yeah, here we are at the NCR Sharecroppers Farms. I don't really know what's here, but I figure I'll investigate this next. Let me try to take care of Camp Mccarran before I forget, because I'm going to be the worst, delivery man in existence if I squirrel every opportunity I have to do a job. Alright, is this Camp Mccarran? Is it beyond the walls? I think it's beyond the wall. Well, this I don't think is actually related to the strip at all. I think this is entirely different. How do I get around this building? Just general direction? Alright, I think we're making some headway here. I see a wandering trader. I don't know if he has ended in Camp Mccarran. I'll take it. Leave you be. I spent enough caps. I'm gonna leave my cap situation alone for the time being. And let's go into Camp Mccarran. Alright. And that kind of paused at a weird time. Okay, you're an NCR trooper. What I need to find... It was a doctor, wasn't it? Quests say Dr. Hildren. Alright, well, if I was in Camp Mccarran and I needed a doctor, where would I... Maybe in a tent. Maybe over this way, where my quest marker is leading me. These are all very good points. Oh, this seems to say that he's actually in... I think this is a mall? I've never been in this mall before. Well, it's a terminal building, but I think it's all kind of the same idea. Have I been in here before? I'm going to be really honest with you. If I have, this is not ringing any bells in my brain hole. Alright. I need a doctor. Not because I'm injured or anything, but just because I think he's below me. Hold on. Let's go down below. Hop around. I think I can go in here. Hello? Nope, you're not him. Her. It. You are.
A pleasure to meet you. I'm Dr. Thomas Hildern, Director of Operations, OSI East. I presume you're here about Vault 22?
No, actually, this is the very first time I'm hearing about it, but I actually have an invoice for you.
From Alice. I'll see that she's paid right away. Crimson Caravan runs a tight operation. Even out here in the waste, wouldn't do to keep them waiting. Was there anything else? Or were you just here about the invoice?
Well, you mentioned Vault 22. I might be willing to help.
Wonderful. Straight to it then. Have you signed the release forms? No? Doesn't matter. We'll keep that to ourselves. Vault 22. Where to begin?
You know what? Just save the sales pitch. Tell me what you need me to do.
All right. Straight to the point. I believe that the inhabitants of Vault 22 unlocked the secrets of vegetative growth. Plants are spilling from their gate. No one tends them. No one waters them. Yet they multiply and spread in all directions. Find the reason for this miraculous growth, and I promise you the OSI will see that you are generously compensated.
You have a deal.
Good. No need to check in with the NCR authorities. I can authorize your payment from OSI accounts. Vaults typically contain a server room on a lower level, where they would have backed up their research data. A computer room, you understand? Download all the information on the central server to your Pip-Boy. And you'll be certain to bring me any notes or samples that you find, won't you?
Yeah, sure, why not? Anything else I should know about the area?
I thought it was a fairly straightforward assignment. It's a simple question of retrieving the data, which shouldn't prove overly challenging. Downloading the data will be handled by your Pip-Boy. You might think of yourself as a mere means of conveyance. No insult intended, of course.
Alright, I will take it, and I'm going to... What are you doing?
Did Dr. Hildern... This really isn't any of my business, but did he give you a job?
Maybe.
I shouldn't say anything. I know that. But you're not the first person Hildern sent out to the vault.
Yeah, I
There
figured
were
as
a
much.
lot of mercs, one after another. None of them came back. Then about a week ago, there was a scientist, Keeley. She's unusual. Not the sort of person you'd expect, but she's an absolute genius, and he didn't mention her? Not even her name? Or any of the other mercs?
Nope, nothing.
But now he's hired you, which means one of two things. Either he heard back from Keeley, and she failed, or he's given up on her. Listen, I make a fair wage, but I'm not rich, not by any means. Maybe my kind of money wouldn't appeal to your average merc, but I'm willing to pay you if you'll find Keeley and make sure she's safe. Isn't right leaving her out there. No idea if she's alive or dead.
Sure, I'll keep an eye out for her just in case.
I had a good feeling about you. Moment you walked in. I mean it.
Alright, well, I'm going to leave you be because I have to go find a woman to deliver a thing to. Alright, we're gonna make our way back into the main building. And, oh, this is the barracks. I want the reverse way. I think it's just the opposite. It's the corner. My quest marker actually wasn't leading me back here, so I kind of took a shot in the dark, but did I do my thing right?
Welcome back. Well, you've proven yourself reliable so far. Would you be interested in more important jobs?
Sure. What other work do you have?
As much as I like to handle matters personally, I can't be everywhere at once. There is a negotiation with a smaller trading outfit that I'd like resolved as quickly as possible. There's also the matter of Henry Jameson, an employee whose services I'd rather do without. His family connections make it difficult, however. And finally, I need someone to acquire the Gunrunner's manufacturing specifications. This job needs to be quiet. No alarms, no deaths.
Well, tell me about the negotiation.
There's a small trading outfit, Cassidy Caravans, that I'm interested in acquiring. They've been rather competitive, so it's time to buy them out. I have it on good authority that the owner, Cass, wants out of the caravan business. Cass frequently trades with the NCR, so you'll likely find her at the Mojave outpost.
Alright, and what's going on with Henry?
The Jamesons are very wealthy ranchers back in Redding, California, and significant investors in the Crimson Caravan Company. I was pressured into posting young Henry as the manager of the New Vegas branch. As you can see, he wasn't exactly cut out for the job. He was much more interested in gambling and prostitutes, and because of his family, I can't simply fire him. Henry needs to be convinced to quit, one way or another. I won't have a useless employee on the company payroll.
Alright, and what's a gunrunner job about?
The quality of the gunrunners' armaments is due to their manufacturing process. They craft all weapons on site. I want to know the secrets of their manufacturing process, which means you'll need to find some way to get inside their heavily guarded factory. I would greatly prefer that you perform this job undetected and without killing anyone, if it can be helped.
Alright, well, I'm going to look into those, but it is just something that's going to have to wait. Well, I think this is a good a time as any to mark an episode and call it a day. Well, you guys know the drill. If you guys watched this and you thought, God damn, your content sucks, be sure to leave a dislike and let me know exactly what you didn't like. Meanwhile, maybe you guys did enjoy it, and if that is the case, please do feel free to leave a like. Let me know what you guys enjoyed. That way I can always improve. Or at least I'm doing something right, I can keep it going. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed, like I said, I thank you guys so much for watching. It does, of course, mean the absolute world to me. I do hope you guys all have an absolutely amazing day, and, well, ciao.